what were we on in that last one? Do you know? I'm Lionel Warp, literary critic for the Postmodern Gazette out of Eugene, Oregon. But you already knew that.
And I'm Richard Wolf. You can call me Dick for short. I mostly scream about literature in the center of town and hope that people will listen.
Okay, Wolf, are you ready?
Yes. I'm ready. Why did I get this chair? Anyway.
Are we going to get it right this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally. I just wish Brian would have gotten me the chair. I don't know why you're sitting behind the desk and I'm sitting here.
Because it's flow. It's like feng shui or feng shui. Okay. Do the intro. One, two, three. Welcome to Pomo Mumbo Jumbo.
I'm
always a pleasure to be working with you again. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. Well, pleasure's mine, obviously.
Today is
Brian, hurry up with the teleprompter.
Today is episode number 522, which actually marks our 2-year anniversary. Happy birthday, Warp.
Happy birthday, Wolf. What have you got for us today?
Well, in honor of our very special inauguration, I'm going to let you start.
Oh, okay. That's very nice. I've developed a cute little take on Donald Del Dillo's White Noise and PKD, or Philip K. Dick's Do Androids Sleep of Electric Dreams. And I do mean cute, or like fuzzy wuzzy, nice and snuggly. You know, it's going to make you feel something deep down in the cock of your hole.
I'm very excited to hear it.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'm gonna actually go first. I always go first.
Well, why did you say that?
Well, because the teleprompter was fucked, so I had to kill time for a little
Brian.
Brian.
I'm gonna get sick of anyway.
Okay, in honor of our very special anniversary, I'd like to present a novel we've been avoiding since the day we first got the gig. Thomas Pynchon's Gravity's Rainbow. Look at this. This is big boy book. It's very big.
I never read it.
I don't believe you. How could you possibly have made it through grad school without having to pick up this beast?
I lied. I picked it up and put it right back down. I told the professor and all the students that I read it, and then I just made up some bullshit about how Pynchon challenges the notion of purpose, and they bought it.
But Pynchon does challenge the notion of purpose. So you were right, even though you made it up?
Yeah, sure, great. I mean, that's not complicated. You can get that idea from, the most basic critical take on this.
But that's my whole argument. It's what I spent hours and eons researching. Okay. Well, Pynchon relies on information overload to short-circuit our critical receptors. Essentially, this book can be read through any lens: war, religion, politics, power, paranoia, race, culture, colonialism. I know that's
gender,
a big concern for you. Gender, sexuality, identity, self, connection, narrative, structure, and of course, rocket science, or dicks. That's too many. Something can't be everything. That's absurd. So instead, I'm going to focus on that absurd. The overabundance of meaning thus becomes meaningless. What was it that Camus said about absurdity? No, seriously, what was it that he said? Oh. Okay, it's something good. I don't something to really prove my point. Oh shit. Well, okay. Just have to take my word for it. Meaning in everything must mean meaning in nothing. There are no absolutes, no grand narratives. So then none of these fools, yes, fools, out there writing critical takes on Gravity's Rainbow are anywhere close to getting it right. There is no right. They say a clock is right at least 2 times a day, but that assumes that the clock has hands at all. You're not flying over time zones in a 757 or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it might never line up. In tackling this chaotic / encyclopedic narrative, I've come to the conclusion that the meaning is meaningless. And instead, this 760-page cartoon encourages its readers to stop taking art so seriously and question why anyone would demand anything concrete ever.
That's pretty deep for a show where we're supposed to analyze meaning. I mean, what do you think our viewers will think?
Well, I mean, our viewers have been with us for 2 years. I think at this point we can just say either, enjoy what you get or fuck off. Fuck the viewers.
Well, don't say fuck the viewers. We got one pure. But I mean, I kind of like that. It makes me like you a little more now. I'll stop, I might stop making love to your wife while you're out of town.
She doesn't mind. Essentially, and I'm stealing this from Gretchen Hintz's introduction to her digital pointillism in Ocean from 5 Inches, that postmodernism is like a pointillism. Pointillism? Pointillism painting. Shit. Ignorant. All these little dots that you can't really decipher up close, but if you pull back and look at the whole thing, you start to get an idea that there's a bigger picture. Of course, with Gravity's Rainbow, I'm saying that's impossible.
So then why bring it up?
Easy. Context.
What's context?
Context is like...
yeah.
Context is like the situation.
Okay, Brian, can you put a graphic of context?
Context.
Yeah,
The dictionary definition. Okay, to prove this, I'm going to be mostly referencing Patrick Brady's review of N. Catherine Hayes' Chaos Bound, Orderly Disorder in Contemporary Literature and Science. Not her actual thing, but, his review. As well as Luke Herman and Stephen Weisenberger's essay, Tyrone Slothrop's Fuck You.
Fuck you. Fuck you, too. Why you
Fuck you. It's the name of the thing. Fuck off.
Oh, sorry.
Read.
It's Brian.
And Elaine B. Safer's The American Comic Epic. And perhaps some other stuff. I don't know. We'll see where it takes me. I'm winging it here.
I wonder if she says to her kids, "Hey, that joke wasn't funny the first time. I'm not gonna tell it the second time."
Well, Brian, edit that part out. Let's start with chaos theory, huh?
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Jurassic Park.
The
Lost World, Jurassic Universe. So, N. Catherine
I thought
Hales,
you said Jurassic Uterus.
Yeah, that's the new one. N. Catherine Hales writes, if my theory is correct, it implies that the attempt to arrive at a theory about literature and science is hopeless. That the only true art for a truly interdisciplinary theory, it seems to me, is a theory about the impossibility of creating a theory that will not be implicated in a disciplinary practice. So the theory about the impossibility of creating a theory sounds an awful lot like my thesis about the impossibility of creating a thesis. Sounds like, according to chaos theory, I'm onto something. Chaos theory registers patterns, and oh boy is Gravity's Rainbow full of them. It's got lists, it's got songs, parabolas constantly interject into the text to remind you, me, cousin Jeremy, idiots like Woof, that there is rhyme and reason in chaos. But is there meaning? Brady writes in his review, those who understand only one approach cannot really understand even that one, because its true status can only be known by situating it among other approaches. While postmodernism has stressed the ideological, even political, power play involved in past canons, which have been incomplete and yet closed and exclusionary, no movement has been tainted by such exclusionary will toward mastery than deconstructionism. I think that, we will not deconstruct the text down to one of the aforementioned base elements, and in the process not get it wrong by thinking we're getting it right. So by not doing it, we're doing it. You get what I'm saying, Wolf?
Yeah. Speak for yourself, though. I mean, when I'm doing it, I'm doing it.
Well, yeah. We're different people. We share a foot, and we're connected at the foot, but other than that, we're not. Technically not brothers. Okay, let's talk about Pynchon a little bit.
Why?
Context. Remember your old friend, context.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brian,
you can get the graphic back up. What's the dictionary that our producer likes? Oxford?
Oxford.
Okay, Oxford. Get the Oxford, Brian. So Pynchon is a notorious jokester. In Call It Capitalism by Thomas Jones, he writes about the time comedian/impersonator Professor Irwin Corey showed up to accept the National Book Award. Brian, you're going to have to fix the teleprompter.
Brian, look,
for Gravity's Rainbow instead of Thomas Pynchon.
It's disgraceful that I'm having to do your job, Brian.
So he sent an impersonator instead to accept the book award, as well as mentioning Pynchon's guest appearance on The Simpsons with a paper bag over his head. Cut to the clip. These examples are used to challenge the notion that many of the things, this is his quote, that people are inclined to take seriously, literary prizes, global conspiracies, life, may turn out to be someone's idea of a great big joke. That's page 1. Comes out of the gate swinging.
Well, I know someone who's a big joke.
Who? Got him. I totally got him. He thinks he pointed at me, but I also pointed at him. I ask then, what's the difference between this and the inordinate amount of dick and fart jokes present in this?
There's dick and fart jokes in this?
Yeah. There's like maybe, and I'm not trying to exaggerate, I know originally the teleprompter says billions, right? I think that there's maybe 840 dick and fart jokes present in that book. That's over one a page, people. That's more dick and fart jokes than the entirety of South Park.
I just opened up random to a page 21, the word farting.
But with as much going on as there is in this work, it's hard to tell one fart joke from the next. They all just sort of blend into each other. And this is due to Edward Mendelssohn's concept of the encyclopedic narrative. Mendelssohn defines the encyclopedic narrative as attempting to render the full range of knowledge and beliefs, this is an encyclopedia, of a national culture, while identifying the ideological perspectives from which that culture shapes and interprets its knowledge. So from ball sacks to ballistics, this one's got it all. Woof. Yes, humor me for a second. What's the grand narrative of an encyclopedia?
Yes. Yep.
No,
absolutely.
Try, I mean, I know that's a little bit above your pay grade, but try again. What's the grand narrative of an encyclopedia? What do we have?
To tell people, to inform.
Okay, I'll take that. So, like, keep going on with this train of thought. Is it ever making a specific argument?
Is it ever making a specific argument? I mean, you're asking me for a definite, and as a scholar of the postmodern, I refuse to give you that, but probably not.
Exactly. Case and point. An encyclopedic narrative can't frog in my throat. An encyclopedic narrative can't have an overarching argument, so the only argument thus is nothingness.
Well, you know I love nothingness.
Who doesn't? The void is quite appealing.
So what you're telling me, everyone, is that it's all a joke.
Yeah, man, it's a Looney Tune. Boogs Booney and Daffy Duke, Elmer Fudd unable to decide which one he's supposed to shoot. Wabbit season, duck season. Wabbit season, duck season. Wabbit season, duck season. Neither.
I'm not familiar with the program, but I understand where you're going with it.
Okay, you want to talk about Slothrop next, or you want me to go straight into like the comic epic stuff?
I don't really care. Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, well then let's go into the comic epic stuff because it's the strongest transition between ideas.
I don't understand why. Is this position better or is this one?
That one.
Cool. All right. Now that we've butchered this transition.
Yeah, you know, whatever.
Sorry.
Whatever. It's PBS, they don't pay us enough. So, the contemporary American comic epic by Lane B. Safer, she writes about Pynchon's V in Gravity's Rainbow, citing the absurdity of the opening line with the rocket screaming across the sky, juxtaposed against the final, "Now everybody!" Safer writes that Pynchon mixes the comic and the horrific, causing people to laugh at the wit, even while awaiting catastrophe. That's why we laugh as the world is slowly ending.
Yeah.
It's right on the page, Woof. This is literally a comic strip. Slothrop being compared within, multiple pages within this to both Plastic Man and Porky Pig. neither of which are remotely in control of their facilities, whether it be a body that stretches, Mr. Fantastic style, or an uncontrollable stutter that's all folks. Safer defines this as a foreshadowing of his own destiny as a schlemiel, hero of the absurd. Just like the National Book Award and setting an impersonator, it's all a joke if you look at it from the right lens. Mine, these two. Wow. Safer concludes, the bizarre activities and their connections to the comic strip events momentarily lessen the tension in a novel in which scientists think little of castrating someone for experimental purposes. Soldiers take glee in brutalizing innocent members of a crowd, and the war wipes out multitudes with rockets. In fact, the only consistency throughout this whole thing is the absurd and lack of meaning. What does this say to readers? It says that a fart is just as essential as a fascist. That maybe we shouldn't take anything seriously, ever, because it's all just happening around us and we have no control over what actually matters and what doesn't. Or as every good existentialist already knows, existence precedes essence. It's by Jean-Paul Sartre in his essay, Existentialism and Humanism.
Can we get a graphic of that?
A graphic of that? I know you've been doing graphics throughout the whole episode, but I need one of that because Sartre is boss.
Right. So, because I zoned out, I just, what's the meaning in anything?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So, final thought. Let's bring this around to Slothrop.
To who?
Tyrone Slothrop. He is the main-ish character, the main character.
A main character. You've lost me there. I don't think there's a main character.
Yeah, I mean, there's a main as much as it's the postmodern, as much as there can be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got it. You're all right.
I'm
You're
trying.
good.
I'm trying here.
I got you.
I'm trying. Here.
No, you're all right. You're doing good.
This shit is hard.
He's
man.
doing good.
This shit is hard. Gravity's Rainbow's like, at some point the guy just disappears, right? Slothrop just fucking fades into existence, right? Like they don't even say that. He just does. On page 712, he is scattered all over the zone. Pynchon writes, it's doubtful that he can ever be found again in the conventional sense of positively identified and detained. Once Slothrop is no longer narratively necessary, he disappears. That's not how books with meaning treat their characters. What could that possibly mean except to remind you that you're reading a book without any meaning? In Herman and Weisenberger's final chapter from their Domination and Freedom book, they question what it means for a character to be so nihilistically portrayed, even comparing him to Melville's Bartleby the Scrivener, who simply would prefer not to. Both are characters who refuse to operate as a character should. This brings into question the idea of what a character even is. I mean, it's not a real person. Are you a real person or a character?
Me?
Yes, you.
I'm real. I'm a character. My real name is Thomas Gresham. I'm 33 years old. I once got arrested for public urination and breaking and entering.
At the same time or separate times?
Same time. I was doing it.
So, like that situation and this book, what's the meaning?
TJ Maxx.
What's the meaning in any of this? What's the meaning in public urination, break and entering?
Absurdity and parody.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm a cartoon character.
Can you say it a little bit more like a cartoon character?
I'm a cartoon character.
Thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
Herman and Weisenberger take it upon themselves to examine every time Slothrop says, fuck you or go fuck yourself to another character. Okay. But perhaps that's what this book is doing to its readers, telling them to fuck off, that it's all a lark in vulgarity.
Dicks and farts.
Farts and dicks. 100 and 900%.
I see. Sorry, I was trying to do it.
That's cool.
No, I'm sorry.
That's it. Your turn.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You hardly quoted the text.
I did like twice. Maybe, maybe 3 times. There's too much of it. I mean, do you quote Encyclopedia while you're walking around talking through life? Do you literally say Encyclopedia Britannica when you mention penguin facts? No.
Did you even read the book?
Yeah, I read the book. I read every fucking word of this piece of shit. But I probably only understood like a quarter or a fifth of them. Basically the ones that made me laugh. I'd cite Freud's jokes and their relations to the unconscious, but I've been directly instructed not to by our producers. Freud isn't cool anymore, I guess. Sorry, he's not cool. But he does explain how jokes work. Here's hoping everybody takes my word for it and stops taking everything so seriously. Analyzing literature is all fun and games. What maybe, and this is a big what if here, we don't have to. We can just take it at face value.
Brian! Look, I'm not going to do this again, Brian. This is disgraceful. This is a sickening thing. I've had to fix the teleprompter twice, Brian.
You were fired, Brian.
Well, he's not even hired.
We'll get a new producer.
Well, anyway,
Jenny, come on in. Jenny, you're up.
I'm glad you're done talking. What you said was whatever, and I totally understood it, and I totally don't need to actually read the book now, so you've done me a proper favor, and, you know, there's so much that it doesn't even add up to anything, what you said. I don't really care, pointillism, but where we zoom out, it's all just still chaos. Yeah. Good stuff. Great. Let's get to mine. Let's get deeper into nothingness. The nothing of the self.
Just after this commercial break from our sponsors.
Mountain Dew.
God
damn it, Brian. You were supposed to bring this. I'm sick
of Brian. And we're what?
You're back. I'm not back yet.
What? You okay? Just. You want me to talk for you? Okay. Well, Philip K. Dick and Don DeLillo worked together to.
And we're back from our sponsor. Word to our sponsor, Mountain Dew Game Fuel. So, human beings are pointless.
What?
Human beings are pointless. And they find meaning and identity in technology.
I don't know if I really believe that.
And this nothingness becomes a form of religion or spirituality. Humans finds meanings in nothing.
That's so depressing.
So is being here with you.
Mine was uplifting. I was talking about Porky Pig, and that's all, folks. Happy fucking birthday, Woof.
Say that to me one more time.
Happy birthday.
I'll kill you. He pinched my chest hairs. I'm talking, of course, about Philip K. Dick's Do Androids Dream of Electric Shrimp?
That's not what it's called.
I read it. Okay. This is my book report.
Okay. This is not a book report. PBS hired us to do critical takes on
Mountain Dew Game Fuel in the new Tropical Strike flavor hired us to do this. So, Dick wrote a book to define what it means to be a human being in the face of technology, and a technology so intricate that the inability to differentiate between tech and flesh becomes inevitable. And one major factor of the book is that empathy is strictly a human trait.
Holy shit, you're really taking this serious. I thought you'd given up.
Oh, no. I'm not taking this serious at all. I've totally given up. Absolutely.
Look, and I don't say this often because it's terrible dialogue, but I don't understand.
I'm giving a parody of academic research of what we usually do here, and that's what I thought you were doing, but you took it very, very serious.
I was doing pastiche.
Okay, well, I'm doing Pastiche's Not Ugly, More Fun Cousin parody. My half of this thing is going to be, as Jameson puts it in reference to parody, full of ulterior motives and satiric impulses, and not at all devoid of laughter.
That was also his review for Scary Movie 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, like Scary Movie 3 and 4, your presentation is devoid of laughter.
Scary. Well, so's any personal relationship you'll fail to maintain because being around you is like a thumbtack in the butthole. And Scary Movie 3 is quality.
You know what? Taking personal relationships is a little bit too far. I already let you fuck my wife.
Okay.
This thing is funny, but
it's a parody. Listen. Do Androids Dream of Shrimp gives humans the defining characteristic of empathy. All human life is based around this ability to empathize.
You said that already.
Okay. I know I did. Even the consumer religion, Mercerism, is empathy-based and implicitly government-sponsored. And it's integral to and inseparable from defining humans as possessing empathy. Brian, you did it again with the and.
Brian, do we need a new producer? Okay. You know you're doing the bibliography works cited shit differently than me. Right?
I'm doing it how I'm going to do it.
Okay, whatever. It's not my grade.
What do you mean grade?
For class.
What are you talking about? This is 1974. We're on a TV show.
Oh. Right. Hi, Jake.
Who's Jake? So anyway, this notion is complicated throughout the novel due to the use of technology, all right? Specifically the empathy boxes, but also not limited to that because, like, there's also the mood organ, which, thinking about it now, is like another thing that installs empathy in those that use it. So again, it's a thing that makes the thing that makes people feel the one defining element that makes them human. And if a person needs technology to feel that which makes them human, then their humanity is dependent on technology.
Isn't it obvious, though? I mean, TV is a Jesus kind of thing, isn't it?
It's a performative existence that demands that the performance be influenced via technology and that without it, the human does not exist.
How so?
What was that thing? So there's this writer, Jennifer Galvin, who talked about how it's pure artifice and that it's self-generating and that this empathy box is similar to a television and that it's commodified illusion. She brings up a character in the book, J.R. Isidore, and talks about how he's always around his TV and how his TV makes him feel more human by salving the anguish of social dislocation. It's a surrogate for human interaction.
Sounds like my kind of guy. I hate human interaction.
And if empathy is a human trait, and that a human must look upon another human with empathy in order to maintain this human status, then one who is avoiding human interaction cannot experience that same empathy and therefore no longer becomes human. So without technology in this novel, the human life has no meaning and is therefore nothing.
Man, I don't think I can accept that.
Yeah, but technology is the reason the characters see themselves as existing in the book.
Like a mirror or something?
Well, think about it like this. Without technology, they're to reflect. A person interacting with a device to receive information that is digested according only to the ideals of the person ingesting the information. How would a self-isolated human know empathy or any emotional response that qualifies them as human?
Are you the Unabomber?
Only on the weekends.
Well, shucks. I guess I'm just too simple-minded. Would you please explain some more overly complex, boring, yawn-inducing, Mountain Dew-fueled stuff?
Yes. After a quick sip of game. Think about the animals and the androids.
Okay.
There's the guy. There's this guy, Tony Vinci. He says that both the android and the animal act as mute witness to the human. These two elements, the android and the human, the android and the animal, are further conditions of technology that require the human to interact with in order to apply meaning to their own existence. It's not an empathy box that is directly injecting this human qualifier.
I don't follow.
The human does not require empathy from these beings, but it gives them an interactive tool to express that empathy. So later in the novel, Deckard, the main character who I didn't even bring up until just now, begins to feel empathy for the androids. Begins, not beings, Brian. Though it is never clear if that is true empathy or if the androids feel the same empathy towards him, it could all be performative and likely is.
Can we hurry up and end this segment? You just kind of sound like an asshole, man.
I am an asshole. That's why I'm here with you. But let me finish. The idea can be summed up in a way that I'll ask for help from Sartre. Sartre? Sartre. He says that consciousness is a being, the nature of which is to be conscious of the nothingness of its being. So if the human is the ultimate conscious being, and that empathy is the ultimate identifier of that being, and the empathy is only obtainable, according to the rules of the novel, through the use of technology, then without technology, the being, the human, becomes aware of the nothingness and becomes nothingness. And again, according to the rules of the novel, devalues the self to a level that places it directly even with the android and the animal.
Yeah, but why is this important?
The whole book predicates itself on the question of what does it mean to be human?
Brian! Do I have to fix it for you now? Jeez.
I swear. You know what? As soon as this is over, I'm going to take you out back, Brian, and I am... Sorry, wait. Social anxiety. You know, if Brian would do his fucking job... Anyway, oh well, that's the whole concept of the novel, or at the very least, the idea most take from the novel. Then the question the novel raises, and those that study that question are kind of invalidated.
Just like Gravity's Rainbow.
Right. Yeah. We kind of copied each other on this. It's okay. I'm referring to what I'm talking about as the post-identity collapse.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it sounds nice and academic, doesn't it?
Sounds wonderful. I think we should trademark it and make money off of it.
Yeah.
But, like, it's so clever, you're kind of making me look like an asshole.
How?
Well, you're not really taking it seriously. You're just coming up with buzzwords, and you're trying to sound intelligent without actually being intelligent. This is like a legit thing here. Somebody's going to watch this, and they're not going to be happy about it.
Who? Who's not going to be happy about this?
I don't know. I feel like... Maybe this is a little heady, but I feel like this is all leading towards some evaluation of our effort determined by a letter-based scale of scoring.
That's really paranoid. I don't think that's true.
I don't know. There's people out there.
Well, like I said, this is parody. I made that disclaimer, so now I can do anything.
Oh, God.
Anything I want.
Oh, good. God. Good. Oh, God. Oh, good. Oh, God.
And I'm being sincere about it, though. Okay? It's a novel that asks moral questions, but at the center knows there is no answer, and that the questions don't even matter, because the nothingness is the only thing that exists. Like, even the nipple in the book is a representation of this encroaching nothingness.
Nipple?
Kipple. Sorry, Brian. Brian. Jesus God, Brian. So anyway, the nipple is junk the kipple is junk, and the white noise, and the kipple is junk and is white noise, and white noise is defined as an absence, a background nothing we ignore. So kipple is taking over. The kipple taking over is an acceptance of this presence of nothingness. Even J.R. Isidore, whatever his name is, he who's the only like real person in the book, maybe, is accepting and resigned to the fact that the kipple's taking over him.
Entropy, baby.
I'm calling it post-soul sublime.
Whatever twists your nips.
I see what you did. That's good. Yeah.
I love callbacks.
Yeah. Let's go back a minute.
To what?
To the part where you're judging me and basing your actions on the fact that you will be watched and valued via technological communication, unseen and unexperienced. You're obtaining meaning from technology.
Oh my God. No, I'm not. Come on.
Okay, let me run something by you.
What?
You're sitting at home. You're watching TV. And suddenly you notice a wasp crawling up your arm.
Stop it. Stop it right there, Mr. Woof.
An android's got more life than this son of a bitch.
You motherfucker piece of shit. I'm gonna fucking stop stalling and get on with your argument thesis thing.
No, I'm good. I'm done. I mean, I don't think I'm making any sense. I used to be smart and all that, but I just feel really dumb lately. I don't know when I got so fat.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. You don't care. No one cares.
You're right. I don't. Suck it up.
So then I guess you Yeah, that's it. I'm done.
That's it? Don't we have like 30 more minutes to fill?
Yeah. What can I say? I told you I've given up. I told you I checked out.
What happened to white noise? What about white noise? We're supposed to talk about white noise.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
What's the deal with white noise?
Yeah. What is the deal with white noise? I was going to talk about it and have it all connect together and everything, but I was just like,
You just what?
I don't know. I told you I'm checked out. I don't care.
Well, sorry, PBS. I hope that I can get them back on the track for episode 523.
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Charged Tropical Strike.
Compelling stuff, Woof. Compelling stuff.
Sponsors. Don't patronize me, Warp.
I'm not Dick.
You. If anyone here in this room, other than Brian, is a dick, it's you.
Richard.
Oh.
Richard.
I get it. I still don't understand why I've got this chair. It makes.
Do you want to switch? Let's switch.
No, it makes it so difficult for me to talk to you. I can't even turn around and look at you.
Let's switch.
Fucking Brian.
Real quick.
All right.
Well, thanks for coming on hanging out with us here today. That's a wrap on today's major works of postmodern literature from all of us at Pomo, Mumbo, Jumbo, Warp, and Woof. Thanks for watching.
Warp, my friend, you forgot about one thing.
We talked about Gravity's Rainbow. We talked about
I don't know.
Sheep.
I don't.
I mean, we cut out white noise. What could I have forgotten?
Well, today we're set to induct something into the canon of postmodern literature. There are no grand narratives except this one.
Okay.
Some works of postmodernity are classics, and some are WikiLeaks. What is that word?
Wax sucks.
Wax sucks. God.
Classics and wax sucks.
Is that Brian?
That was me. Okay, how could I forget? How could I forget about the classics? What are we inducting into the canon today?
Ace Ventura 2, When Nature... Is it Ace Ventura 2 or just Ace Ventura When Nature... Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls.
Oh, an undeniable masterpiece. Undeniable. Let's show our clip, one that perfectly encapsulates Baudrillard's Simulacra.
Brian, show the clip.
Brian, run the clip.
I don't know how to sit at this desk. That's all from us. That's all from us. Remember, nothing matters and everything is meaningless.
That's all, folks. I
see what you did there.
I think callback.
Yeah.
I think that we proved with both of our novels that meaningless is essential, maybe.
Now for us to return from where we came from. Brian, give me another game. Brian, you stupid son of a bitch. I'm sick of your shit, Brian.
Okay, that died, but...
Did it really?